Oké, mensen, ja, we hebben het voor elkaar gekregen. We hebben 2 leden van Anubis Gate aan de lijn. Henrik Fevre en Kim Olesen van deze Deense progrockers. Hello Kim and hello Henrik, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Well, it's an honor to have you. It's an honor to have you guys here at Rock of Ages on AFM in the Netherlands.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Yes, and congratulations, because Interference, the new Anubis Gate album, is album of the month here.
That's fantastic.
So
that's awesome. And we would like to thank you for that.
Yeah, it's a well-deserved, man. Absolutely amazing album. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I would like to know, when did it all started with Anubis Gate? When?
Shall I go, Kim?
You're welcome, Henrik.
Yeah. All right. And it started in the early 2001 or something. The 2 guys, Jesper Møller Jensen and Morten Sørensen, which both of them are not in the band anymore.
No.
But they had a dream about doing some melodic metal after they did some rap metal stuff in the 90s. Yeah. So they wanted to do something melodic, and they reached out and found Torben Askom, who was the first lead singer of the band, and they did some demos with him. And those demos, they turned out to be the you can see the backbone of the first album, Purification, for which I did write some lyrics and some melodies for, and I did sing some backup vocals. And Kim, you wrote something too, and played on the album, even though we weren't on the band. What did you?
I did, yeah. I mean, they kind of had the bare bones of the album. And they gave me 3 days to go record everything I could think of on top of the album. And now we can see you as well.
Yeah.
And then I was later invited to join the band.
Okay.
But really, and then over the course of some years, we have lost some members and gained some new ones, of course.
Yes.
But we could go even further back to our childhood. I mean, Henrik and Jesper and I were in kind of, side bands almost at the same time with the same guys when we were teenagers. So
nice, yeah.
So the story of us personally goes way further back than Anubis Gate.
Okay, nice.
84 or something.
84, yeah. And what kind of bands were you into when you are teenagers?
For me it was after Duran and all the new romantic stuff that I was very very happy with. At first I started listening to something like Kiss or Queensryche or nice. Iron Maiden, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
A little progressive. You might call Queensryche a little progressive as well. I kind of dig that. Slayer, Metallica, of course, that kind of thing. What all teenagers did listen to back then? No.
Back then,
they didn't. I was the only one in my school almost. So.
Oh yeah, really? Yeah. So you were like the outcast heavy metal guy.
Yeah, you might say that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too back then. Or so. And Kim, what are your bands from the past where you listened to and where you were a fan of?
I've always had very wide musical tastes. The biggest band for me always was the Beatles.
Okay.
But I remember getting into heavy metal when Somewhere in Time came out, and for me, it's still the best heavy metal album that has ever been released.
Yeah, for me too.
And then, of course,
yes,
you won my out there. And then, of course, stuff like Voivod blew my mind when I discovered Dimension Hatred. I couldn't. My mind was blown. It was so I couldn't believe you could make music like that.
No.
So when I was young, I was kind of like but also, of course, Raining Blood with Slayer, and I always had a very soft spot for the New Order with Testament.
Oh yeah,
and
nice
stuff.
record. Yeah.
But then, of course, I was also very much into, Mark Knopfler's guitar playing, and I've always been a huge Jean-Michel Jarre fan, and so that was kind of, it's that I have all my influences were mixed up even when I was young.
Yeah. So, but all those bands, all that influence, do you guys use that for songs for Anubis Gate?
Yeah, very much so. I think our love of 80s pop music and really shows in the band. I mean, you could almost take. I mean, that's a bit harsh and a bit much to say, but you could almost take Testament and Duran Duran and fuse them together, and you would kind of have Anubis Gate.
Yeah, that's well, that makes sense indeed. Yeah, because I've listened to the new album yesterday, and it has indeed some 80s new wave vibe and a thrashy vibe, and that's exactly what you say. It makes sense, really. Yeah. Anubis Gate. Can you tell us a little bit about this lineup? Is this the band members now in Anubis Gate? Is this the definitive lineup for Anubis Gate?
I'll go first, but maybe Henrik will give you the same answer. But for me, during the first 5 albums, we had a lot of lineup changes.
Yeah.
And the last 10 years, we've been the 4 guys that we are now. And I love all the previous members we're still great friends. For me, yes, the lineup we have now is the definitive lineup.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I wouldn't want to do Anubis Gate, anyone else but my 3 mates.
Yes.
So that's where I am with the lineup now. If one of them has to split for one reason or another, I think that would kind of be the end of the band for me.
Oh, really? Because I've seen you guys live many years ago. I believe it was 11 years ago at Prog Power Europe in the Netherlands. And that time was, I think, the last gig with the previous lineup.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And by that time, Jesper and Morten had already left the band. So we were kind of fulfilling that obligation. And wow, we were there.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. What do you feel about that, Henrik?
You mean the lineup changes and everything?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't continue if any of the band members went out. I think it's a strong unit that we have right now, and actually the longest living lineup that we've had actually.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't rule out any more albums, you could say that on from us on that account, but still, yeah, I think it's pretty strong as it is, so I wouldn't change a thing.
No.
Dit is Rock of Ages.